Okay, I'm rolling.
All right, here we are, 2014. We've been mad scientists all winter long. We kind of shut things down and look at our boards and try to figure out how we can make them a little bit better. And we had a big winter this time. The big elephant in the shop now is our new cloth we're using. This is a unidirectional. It's called a HMF 300. And what makes it so cool is the fact that it's unidirectional, but it's held together with these fine nylon threads that have adhesive on them. So that allows us to cut these into strips and handle them without them all coming apart, because that's the problem with unidirectional is if you start messing with it, it's all going to come apart. You're going to have a problem dealing with it. But this allows us to do our unique layout, and this actually stays together better than the woven material. So on this table right here, this is everything it takes to build one board. This is the whole layout here. We have all the what we call your basic basket weave 5.6 carbon. Then we have your HMF 300 unidirectional. We have, these are the rails, ABS rails, ABS tails, inserts for the pads and straps, inserts for the fins. We've got the top and bottom skin. And we have this sitting here to represent the resin, and we know the weights of everything that we're using. We're going to use 725 grams of resin. And the recipe for resin and carbon is, ideal layup is probably 60% carbon, 40% resin. But because we're using ABS and we're bonding to cores and we're messing with this 60-40 nylon, which are also adhering to it, there's a lot more going on than just the carbon. So we shoot for a 50-50 weight combination of resin and carbon. And so we've weighed out all our carbon, so we know exactly the weight that we're using on the carbon. And let me pick my cheat notes. You know, we have right at 459 grams of carbon that we're going to use on the board. And then let me show you why we're using these two different kinds of carbon. We're using the basket weave, which is just a 50-50. 50% of the threads go that way, 50% of the threads go that way. The reason we use this is because of the flexibility. We use it in the tail sections. We use it on the top and the bottom of the tail. And this allows us to build a tail which has a lot of flex in it. Whereas the unidirectional doesn't have that flex. It's very stiff. So we use it in the foot platform area. And we taper it out, and in this area we'll use a combination of the two to taper that flex out to the tails. And by the time we get to the very end of the tail, it's simply this basket weave. So you have a really flexy little tail on it. So then these strips are what we call the edge wraps. You know, we use those to wrap each one of the sections. This is our core cut up into 5 sections. Not really getting into that. We have a bunch of videos that show all that, but this is the whole setup. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this and we're going to lay it up. And we know that what we have sitting on the table right here weighs right at 4.8 pounds. So we're going to lose a little bit of resin. We're going to suck a little bit of resin out with the vacuum. So we'll see. We'll see how accurate we are when we pull this board out here at the end. We'll see whether it weighs more or less than 1.8. Should be very interesting.
4.8. You said 1.8.
You said 4, didn't it?
Not right at the end. You said 1.8.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I heard 4.
to kill off the one youth man. But I want you ganja never hurt no one. Lord, you've got to kill off the one youth man. He said now girls and guns, guns and girls, come together like the diamond and pearl. 1D1, rule the world, trying to tell me you're no ordinary girl. Little woman, would you like to come quick? I said now woman, would you like to roll a little faster? Woman, would you like to come quick, quick, quick? Wouldn't you like it if we roll a little faster? Back, back, all the way to Cali, Cali. That's where I wanna sit and go, back, back, all the way to Cali, Cali. That's where I wanna be. Got up on the clips, and again I'm going to Ludo. Got up a dozen clips, and then I'm going to Ludo. And then I'm going, back, back, all the way to Cali, Cali. That's where I wanna sit and go, back, back, all the way to Cali, Cali. I said you want some, even though you never needed you, you feel it, yeah. I said you want some, even though you never needed you, you feel it, yeah. Panamandilero, 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 Panamandilero. Come and shut up if you want to say no.
All right, let's see what it weighs. Well, we're almost right on. 4 pounds, 10 ounces. So that's a little bit less than 4.8. 4.8 would be
4.8 would have been closer to
10 or 4. It'd been a little over.
13 ounces, 16 ounces a pound. Huh?
Yeah, I guess we'd sit down and figure that out. But yeah. I wish I'd have brought a pair of pads and straps and everything. I'd like to weigh those. See, I think it weighs quite a bit more than the board does now.
Yeah.